Yo, what's going on, everybody? GZTV back with another video. I think the white light in the background looks fire. I'm not gonna lie. What do you guys think? That shit looks dope, doesn't it? We gotta get the tree lit up, man. I've been trying to figure shit out with that. I can't find any cords and stuff, so for now we're just gonna have the tree sitting there. You can see it though. You can see my Christmas tree. It's lit. GZTV though, back with another video. We gotta put our mic a little closer here so y'all can hear me. No Chief Keef album. Actually, I was kind of foolish. I thought this album was coming out tonight, but he moved it all the way back to like January 20th. So it's not even coming out this year. We have to make up some spots for the top 50 list. Honestly, this year in music, not great. Also not bad though. There's definitely been some very big artists that dropped music this year, so there's that too. But right now, kind of in the background, I'm grinding out some Maddens because I didn't really get the time to do that today because I had to babysit. Not babysit, I just kind of visited. And we watched sports, I watched some movies, I watched The Walking Dead, so I can have that review out for you guys. Maybe tomorrow, I'm not sure. I might get a setup upstairs. Probably not. If I wanted to, though, I could wake up really early tomorrow and get some shit going, which I might do that. That's probably not a bad idea. That would be all I would need to do. But we'll just leave it. We'll just give myself a little days off. But we have the Long Kiss Goodnight, the 1996 action thriller. Samuel L. Jackson. You have Gina Davis on here. So let's get into the plot and let's get into the reception, let's get into all the good stuff. Samantha Kane is a school teacher in small town Honesdale, Pennsylvania, living with her boyfriend Hal and her daughter Caitlin. So that kind of sets the scene. 8 years earlier, she was found washed ashore on a New Jersey beach, pregnant with Caitlin and totally amnesiac. What? That doesn't even make sense. I don't think that's how you term that. Maybe it is. I'm just reading my notes here. Having never remembered her real name, Samantha has hired Samantha in quotations. Samantha has hired a number of ineffective private investigators to discover her past. The latest being the down on his luck Mitch Hennessy, played by Samuel L. Jackson. He's going to be like one of the co-main protagonists in the story. Wow, the lights in the background look sick, dude. I'm not going to lie. During the Christmas holiday, Samantha is involved in a car accident and suffers a brief concussion. When she recovers, she finds she possesses skills with a knife that she cannot explain. She must used to be like a chef in her past life. She has all these skills that she didn't even know she had, and she's like portraying them in front of her family, and they're like, dude, what the hell is going on here? Yeah. Shortly thereafter, the family home is broken into by One-Eyed Jack, a convict who escaped from jail after seeing Samantha's face on television. So obviously in her past life, before, being washed up on shore, not knowing what the hell is going on, obviously Jack had something to do with this woman. So, yeah. Samantha demonstrates her fighting prowess by killing Jack barehanded. So, yeah, another skill she had that no one knew of, and they're like, what is going on with you, right? Worried that she poses a danger to Hal and Caitlin, Samantha leaves with Mitch, who has found a suitcase belonging to her to seek out answers. He kind of finds clues to help her out and whatnot. So yeah, it's very interesting. The whole story is kind of centered around this trip they make. Yeah. The suitcase contains a note directing them to Dr. Nathan Waldman, another guy that kind of was connected to her in her past life. They arrange to meet at a train station, unaware that government agents are tapping the doctor's calls. So they know that he's in danger or something, and it's interesting. He's like a wanted man or something. En route, Samantha discovers the bottom of the suitcase contains a disassembled sniper rifle, which she can expertly reassemble along with other weapons. So she's good with weapons, she's good with hand-to-hand combat, she's good with a knife. So it seems like she was some sort of spy or some shit before. She's trying to really find her true self and kind of unfold these mysteries on what her life was really about before her family. She met her family. When Samantha and Mitch go to meet Waldman at the station, they are attacked by a team of agents who shoot numerous bystanders, but the two escape with Waldman's help. So they're all just kind of on the loose. They're all kind of getting away from the situation. Killing some innocent bystanders, you know how that goes in action movies. The doctor informs Samantha that she is really an expert CIA assassin, Charlene Elizabeth Charlie Baltimore, who had disappeared 8 years earlier. He's like, oh shit, we found you. You're a CIA agent. Which, no fucking wonder she's good with weapons, knives, and hand-to-hand combat. It makes sense. Unsure if they can trust Waldman, Samantha and Mitch leave him behind and seek another contact named on a note in the suitcase of Luke, believing he may be Charlie's fiancé in his past life before she met up with Hal. So, yeah, that's another person they meet. They're trying to get some answers. They're trying to get some input on what her life was like before all of this. So, yeah. Waldman catches up with them and tries to warn them that Luke is actually Charlie's last assassination target, Daedalus, trying to live like this, like, kind of disguised lifestyle. However, Luke kills Dr. Waldman, then straps Samantha to a water wheel and tortures her by completely submerging her in cold water. I mean, not only is that drowning her, she could get hypothermia and whatnot and go into shock, you know. So obviously that's a pretty good torture mechanism. After being tortured, she is finally jolted into remembering her past life. Like, this, like, pushed her to remember kind of what her past life was like, what her day-to-day was, which she did. After being Samantha frees herself, kills Luke, and escapes with Mitch. So she actually carries out with her assassination. She fulfills something from her past life. And I bring that up a lot because that's like a really big topic in this movie. Let's see here. What else? Samantha completes her physical transformation back to Charlie, cutting her hair and dyeing it platinum blonde. So it like completes her look, like this badass CIA female agent look. Charlie realizes that her Samantha Kane personality was a cover to get near to Daedalus 8 years earlier. So, you know, CIA agents, they take these disguises and they try to, you know, thwart people into falling into their laps. You know, obviously that's what she was trying to do, and now she realizes why she took on this new persona. A psychological operations specialist named Timothy, with whom Charlie once had a romantic relationship, kidnaps Caitlin. So all these people are kind of coming after her. There's like a big conflict. Yeah. Charlie and Mitch learn about Daedalus's involvement in Project Honeymoon, which she disrupted on her mission, resulting in One-Eyed Jack's incarceration. Project Honeymoon was intended to be a false flag chemical bomb detonation in Niagara Falls planned by the CIA in an attempt to blame Islamic terrorists and secure more funding. So obviously when a big terrorist attack happens, the government's like, oh, the CIA needs more funding, so they can, like, you know, it's kind of fucked up, it's kind of scandalous, kind of corrupt, but they had to do what they had to do at the time, I suppose. Yeah. Charlie realizes that Timothy and a new group is plotting to restage the attack, led by CIA Director Leland Parkins. So in Niagara Falls, where Timothy has taken Caitlin, he captures Mitch and Charlie. So they're in fucking trouble now. They're in big trouble. She tells Timothy that he is Caitlin's biological father and implores him not to hurt their daughter, but Timothy is ultimately unmoved, locking Charlie and Caitlin in a freezer to kill them. And she's like, it's okay, we can get out of this, you know, being, like, encouraging to her daughter and whatnot. And yeah, now their mission is to, like, escape out of here. We're getting close to, like, the final act in the movie. Charlie and Caitlin break out of the freezer by detonating barrels of kerosene and then freeing Mitch, who helps Charlie attack the staging area. So, like, they're about to go on with this operation, which obviously shouldn't be happening, because it's something they planned a while ago, I guess. Yeah. This forces Timothy to launch the attack early. Meanwhile, Caitlin locks herself in a cage on the truck carrying the bomb, which is not fucking good. The truck has a bomb on it. You know, obviously Charlie realizes that her daughter's, like, on this truck with the bomb, and she's like, what the fuck are you doing, you know? So Charlie chases the truck, overpowers its driver, diverts it from a Christmas parade, and overturns it on the Niagara Falls International Bridge leading to Canada. So she's trying to lead the bomb away from civilization as much as she can so these people don't get put into harm's way and whatnot. So, yeah. Charlie frees Caitlin, but they cannot get away from the bomb, which is about to explode as Timothy and his agents attack them from a helicopter. So much is, like, going on. They have this bomb they have to get away from. They have an attack helicopter coming for them. Like, it's just all crumbling down, right? Mitch suddenly arrives in a car, picking up Charlie and Caitlin and entering Canada just before the bomb explodes, which kills Timothy and his forces and destroys the bridge. So obviously the big hero at the end. That seems like it's like the end of the story. They get through the conflict, but interestingly enough, in this film, I mean, I guess it's kind of like a '90s thing. I don't know how many '90s films had this. They had an epilogue in here, very interesting stuff. So, in an epilogue, Charlie has returned to her assumed identity of Samantha Kane, trying to live a peaceful lifestyle. She's not about that action, CIA stuff. She'll use her skills when she needs to. She moves with Caitlin and Hal to a remote farmhouse and declining an offer from the president to join the State Department, which could imply rejoining the CIA. She's like, no, this life isn't for me. I want to live a peaceful family life. Mitch enjoys the publicity attracted by his role in the crisis and is interviewed by Larry King on television about Perkins, who is indicted for treason. Very interesting. They put Larry King in this movie. That's actually kind of badass, honestly. And obviously, Larry was a pretty big deal. There was supposed to be a sequel to this movie, interestingly enough, but yeah. Let's kind of get into what people had to say about this. Mainly positive reviews here. 68% on Rotten Tomatoes, 59 reviewers, 6.1 out of 10, which is kind of low. I think this is a pretty decent movie. I don't think it's great. Obviously, the premise is really cool and interesting. I don't think it's great, but I would say it's about a 7 or 8 out of 10. Smart, sharp-witted, and fueled by enjoyably over-the-top action, The Long Kiss Goodnight makes up and impact what it lacks in consistent aim. 4.4 out of 10 on Metacritic. Jesus Christ. 20 critics said it was mixed or average. So, yeah. A- on Cinema Score. That's actually pretty good. 3.5 out of 5 on Box Office. It's a lot of fun. There were some weaknesses in the script. I mean, the story wasn't all that strong. 2.5 out of 4 for Roger Ebert. I admired it as an example of craftsmanship, but with a lot of time and money to spend on something of no real substance. Yeah, I mean, that is kind of a big issue with the movie. There's not really a lot of things actually, like, going on in terms of a story for a movie. Let me close that. It's, like, bothering me. For a movie, it's really not that creative. It's just kind of an action flick with this... I mean, it just comes down to the premise. Like, the premise isn't simple. I think it's not a premise that a lot of people could come up with, which I guess that's why I kind of enjoy this film. 2014 Time Out pulled several. The Long Kiss Goodnight placed 82nd on, like, a really big, like, action film list made by a bunch of, like, action movie cast members, stunt actors, directors, all that type of stuff. So they all came together and they made a list, and this movie was top 85 in action films. So that's pretty dope. The Long Kiss Goodnight was... Samuel L. Jackson said that The Long Kiss Goodnight was his favorite movie to watch that he was actually in of all the films. Rennie Harlan really liked The Long Kiss Goodnight. It's definitely one of the better movies, I guess, made by Rennie Harlan. And it's very simple. It's a movie that had a really good screenplay, which meant that, you know, there were some really good actors here. It's always challenging to... I mean, from a director's perspective, it's got to be challenging to make a movie but it's easy when you have a good screenplay, when you have characters that are complex, you have good drama, have some humor, good action. All the ingredients come together in this movie. It's pretty successful. When you have that, you don't even need some crazy special effects. You just need to let the characters do their thing. Pretty decent watching experience. I don't really have much to say, guys. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I will be back with my NBA recap here in about like 35 minutes or so. I'm going to go play some Madden. I need to make the TikTok for you guys. I will do